Who dat to the Who Dat Nation? Welcome to the Who Dat Say podcast, your podcast for the New Orleans Saints here on the KB Radio Network. This is the recap of the Week 4 matchup between the Saints and the Buffalo Bills, who went into this game 3-0. Saints were 0-3, and pretty much that O stayed the same for everybody. The Buffalo Bills come out victorious 31-19. Saints are now 0-4 on the season. The Bills stay undefeated thus far, and we reached the point of the season. This is basically the first quarter of the season that is in the books, and now you can pretty much say what a team is. You can tell if a team is for real or if a team is just a flash in the pan. From the first couple of games, you look at some teams that come out hot, win a couple of games, but deep down you know that the bottom going to fall out soon, and you're starting to see that with a few teams. And you see teams that have kept it consistent throughout the 4 games of the season, or the first 4 games of the season, and you're like, okay, this is a real team. I always felt that about Buffalo going into this game. I didn't expect the Saints to win this game. I honestly thought this was going to be a carbon copy of the Seattle game, but it wasn't. I got to give the Saints just a tad big credit. A tad. They did have some fight. There were moments in this game where I was really sitting in my in my chair like, they got a chance. They actually have a chance here. And that was dashed away. Josh Allen, the reigning MVP of the league. He is the MVP of the league. He threw for 2 touchdowns today. He even ran for 1. The dude is phenomenal. The dude is phenomenal. I knew that it was going to be a tall task to keep him at bay. But the Saints did for a majority of this game. I would say for 3.5 quarters, they kept Josh Allen in check, but defensively. But you can only ask so much of this defense. You have to capitalize as an offense. You have to capitalize on certain things. You have to capitalize on a turnover. Saints got an interception, something Josh Allen hasn't done since December of last year. And they did it. The Saints managed to get a pick with a rookie nonetheless. Sanker got his first career pick today. He actually played a pretty good game today. I think we got a steal there, which stank. No, the defense stank, but he doesn't. Sanker, he is going to be a really good player for the Saints, but the rest of that defense, I don't know. The Buffalo Bills, they were sloppy. To be fair, they played real sloppy throughout the first four quarters. I would say almost midway into the 4th. They did not look like the Buffalo Bills that we know. I know you look at that score and think that they just ran over the Saints if you didn't watch the game, but not really. It really didn't burst open until the end of the game when the Saints were just out of it. They did all they could do. But James Cook, their running back, he had 117 yards on the ground and a touchdown. He was kind of a thorn in the Saints' side. Nothing big. It wasn't any, 30-yard runs and all this here. They just kept chopping away at this defense with James Cook, and it worked. It worked, but not to be outshined. So did the Saints. The Saints ran the ball amazingly, and Saints historically has always ran the ball well in Orchard Park. They have always ran over the Buffalo Bills defense for years. The last time we were up there, I think we had 204, 30 or 40 yards rushing on the Buffalo Bills. That was what, 2017, something like that. I forgot when it was the last time we were up there. But yeah, man, And today was no different. I think in the first half, the Saints had 120 yards rushing on on Buffalo. I was like, okay, there it is. There's the blueprint. Just follow that. But they didn't do it. They didn't do it. I'm convinced at this point, for better or worse, I'm convinced that the Saints aren't good. To go back to my initial point of, you know what a team is at this point of the game. The Saints aren't a good team, and they aren't because of their coach. Kellen Moore is not a good coach. You can go ahead on. You can say what you want to say. Oh, look what he's working with, and this, that, and the third. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. If you are a coach, you should be getting the best out of your players, and you aren't. You have good players on the New Orleans Saints. Are the Saints a championship quality team? If you look at that roster, I would say no. But they definitely aren't a 0-4 team with the talent on this team. And he's not getting the best out of his best players. Alvin Kamara is not getting the we're not seeing the best out of Alvin Kamara. He had a good game today, but it wasn't an Alvin Kamara game. We haven't seen that none this season so far. We haven't gotten the best out of our wide receivers. Shadeed, he's an afterthought in this offense. And we saw what he can do. We saw what type of player he can be. We've yet to see that in this offense. And to be fair, honest to God, man, I never was a Kellen Moore guy. I never saw Kellen Moore as this next innovative mind when it comes to coaching in the NFL. When he was in Dallas, he was surrounded by talent. When he was in Los Angeles with the Chargers, he was surrounded by talent. When he was in Philly, he was surrounded by talent. Now you have a team that doesn't have talent like those other teams that we mentioned have. So the test going into this season or going into this new journey in his life as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, is it you or was it you that had those offenses looking successful, or was it just the talent there? So far, it looks like it was just the talent that was around him and the stops that he was at, because this looks nothing close to what he had in Dallas, LA, or Philly. Nowhere near. This offense looks pedestrian. It looks like I don't know, man. He coaches scared. He coaches scared. He doesn't come in with a game plan. Just look at it. When he starts off a game offensively, there's no scripted plays. He's just out there. He's looking at the defense. Okay, what is the defense showing me? All right, we're going to adjust to what the defense is doing. Whereas any head coach in the NFL worth their weight in gold, they're going to go out there and enforce their will and force the defense to make adjustments, to try to throw the Saints off of their game. That's not what I'm seeing in 4 weeks of football under Kellen Moore. I watched, well, I didn't watch. Before I started recording, I decided to kind of doom scroll through social media with some of these Saints fans, or so-called Saints fans. And you know what the reasoning for the Saints being 0-4 right now, according to Saints fans? Spencer Rattler. My head blew up. I just could not believe this, man. I'm sitting there reading these comments of people who are sitting there saying Spencer Rattler is the reason we are losing these games. Did Spencer Rattler put up a MVP style performance today? No. Did Spencer Rattler miss that touchdown throw to Brandon Cooks late in the game? Yeah, he did. He could have threw a better ball. If it wasn't for Spencer Rattler, Saints would have lost this game 40-3. Do you not realize that every touchdown drive, every drive that the Saints had an opportunity to score in, Spencer Rattler literally wheeled this team down the field each and every drive. I can't knock Spencer Rattler. And it's just infuriating that people who claim to watch football blame the one man on this team that actually showed up to play. And that is mind-boggling to me. I don't understand Saints fans. I really don't. And I'm a Saints fan. I don't understand y'all way of thinking, man. That is utterly ridiculous. Blame the coach for putting him in these stupid situations. A la going for it on fourth in the red zone with a double reverse wide receiver pass that ended up getting picked off. You went with a wide receiver pass with a wide receiver who can, at that point, couldn't even catch a ball, and you wanted him to throw it, and that was the result. Instead of putting your head down, putting a hat on a hat, and burying it in for the touchdown, or attempting to, or just kick the field goal. Since he likes to chase points, because last week he didn't have a problem kicking the field goal when we were down by 30 points. But no, at this point, no, wait, oh, we're going to go for it. This dude is not a good coach. Say what it is. And if you feel Spencer Rattler is the reason, just come out and say you don't like the guy. Just say it. Don't hide behind, oh, we need to give the rookie a shot. No, because you honestly think Tyler Shuck was going to go in there and do something different? What would he have done? That's what I want to know. What would Tyler Shuck have done different in that game to whereas we would have won? I would love to know. Made that throw to Brandon Cooks? Okay, cool. He would have made that throw. We still would have lost. what he would have did on that double reverse pass thing? What, he would have leaped over the defender to snatch the ball from him? Okay. I mean, tell me what he would have did. Would he had handed the ball off a little better to the running backs, or made the coach run the ball more, which they should have done in the second half? Why did we go away from the run? Why? The run was working. You were getting 6 yards a carry, and they just completely stopped. But you blame Spencer Rattler. Saints fans, if you don't know football, start watching hockey. Just leave football alone. Leave it to people who know what they're watching. Leave it to people. See, these are the type of people that Mickey Loomis was talking about. You making him right. You making him know, like, making him out to be like he knows everything. And we all know he's an idiot. But when Mickey Loomis sit there and say, oh, these Saints fans don't know football, he's talking to you. You, the ones who was putting on Twitter and Facebook and all this other stuff that, oh man, Spencer Rattler, he hadn't won a game. He's 0-10 as a starter. What that got to do with anything? What that has to do with this team being unable to get out of their own way? What does Spencer Rattler have to do with them running this high tempo offense and the offensive line don't know what they're doing? How is that his fault? How is it his fault that special teams constantly biting themselves in the foot? Whether it was last week with that just monstrosity, or this week running into the kicker after we got him off the field, have a chance to get back in this game late. What Spencer Rattler would have did? What Tyler Shuck would have did? What? Tell me. This team is not coached well. They're undisciplined. They can't get out of their own way. And it's frustrating because, like I said, Saints had 0 chance to win this game, I felt, going into it. But as the game went on, I saw that the Saints actually had a chance to win this game and shock the world because they were outplaying the Buffalo Bills in every facet of the game. But they found a way to lose. Your offensive line is a problem. This needs to be addressed. You need to do something with this offensive line. I pray that Cesar Ruiz has a quick recovery for whatever he did. I think it was an ankle injury. He went out in the second quarter. But prior to that, he was I mean, he missed the rest of the game, but it was like he was in the game because it was the same results. There were plays in that first and second quarter before he got hurt where people just walked right past him, and it felt like they were walking. He didn't block anybody on plays. It was embarrassing, but I did feel bad for him. The fact that he got hurt, I did. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, no matter how upset I am with their play. I wanna see them all healthy, but man, come on, man, that offensive line has issues. The defense picked it up this week. The defense did pick it up this week. I think they sacked Josh Allen 3 times today, and he was pressured a lot as well. Good job on the defense. Carl Granderson had the game of his life today. It was a joy to see. It was a joy to see. They got him off the field when they needed to. It was just the offense, Saints offense, that couldn't capitalize on these opportunities, missed opportunities, and in any event, I'm not going to stick around too long. It's really nothing to say. It's starting to become a trope here. There's nothing to say about this team. I mean, we can beat on a dead horse. We can go round and round. Oh, well, this player this player with that. For what, man? It's a waste of time. It's really a waste of time because this team is not going to make the necessary changes that they need in order to succeed this season. You have Chase Young, who I seen today. It shocked me. He was standing on the sideline, and I want to put emphasis on standing on the sideline during the game. What's wrong with his calf? He wasn't in no cast. He didn't have crutches. So what's going on there? But if he was going to be out a month, if he was going to be out even longer, because I don't know when he's coming back. But you should have brought somebody in. You should have brought in another player to help this defensive line because this team was relying on that player. You were relying on somebody on that other end that can help this team. And I don't know. I just don't know their way of thinking. No, we rather make a trade for a player who isn't going to play until 2026, hopefully, because he's having surgery. We don't know what he's going to do when he gets quote unquote healthy or cleared to play, if that even happens. But that's the transaction you make when you have a defensive end, one of your best players on defense, who was going to be out a substantial amount of time. You decide to trade for a wide receiver that we're not going to see on the team until next season. Let's go over the stats. Let's go over the stats of this game. Like I said, it's mind blowing looking at these stats, especially when we get to the team stats and wonder what is going on. What is the problem there? Let's begin with the passing leader for the New Orleans Saints. It was Spencer Rattler. He was 18 of 27, 126 yards and a touchdown today. No interceptions. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, he was 16 for 22, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Rushing leaders for the New Orleans Saints, it was Alvin Kamara, 15 carries for 70 yards. For the Buffalo Bills, it was James Cook, 22 carries for 117 yards and a touchdown. Reception leader today, which is a shock to me. I mean, just shock. We actually had a wide receiver who was the leading receiver today. It wasn't Juwan Johnson. No, it was Rashid Shaheed. He had 4 catches for 46 whopping yards today. For the Buffalo Bills, Kamal Shaker, I believe I'm saying his name right, 5 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown. Sacks, we had 3 players that tied with 1 sack apiece. Uh, leading tackler today, Demario Davis with 7 tackles today. Moving over to our team stats, beginning with first down, Saints had 22 first downs today. Buffalo Bills had 20, believe it or not. Third down efficiency, Saints were 5 for 13. The Buffalo Bills were 3 for 10. I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. The Saints defense really got them all. They did the best they could here. On fourth down, Saints went for it twice on fourth down, didn't convert any. The Buffalo Bills went for it once and didn't convert as well. Total plays, Saints ran 65 total plays to Buffalo's 57. Total yardage, Saints had 298 yards today to Buffalo's 356. Total drives, Saints had 10 drives, Buffalo 11. Yards per play, Saints had 4.6 yards per play to Buffalo's 6.2. Passing yardage, Saints had 109 yards passing to Buffalo's 191. Rushing yards, Saints had 189 rushing yards today to Buffalo's 165. Nobody knew how to stop the run today. Neither team. Well, Buffalo went into this game pretty bad against the run, so I figured we were going to be successful with the run game. I didn't know we were going to be this successful, but it is what it is. It wasn't successful enough, if you ask me. They ran the ball 34 times as a team, and they should have ran it about 40 or 45 times. And I think the Saints would have won this game, honestly. It just had to run the ball more. A lot of that was in the first half. They didn't run the ball in the second. Moving on. Yards per rush, the Saints had 5.6 yards per rush. Buffalo, 5.2 yards per rush. In the red zone, this is where it really gets devastating. Saints were 50% in the red zone, 2 for 4. Buffalo were 2 for 3. And once again, another deciding factor. One area of improvement, which was a healthy sight to see, was the penalties. Saints only had 4 penalties today for 41 yards. The problem was they were 4 major penalties. They came at the wrong time for the Saints, those 4 penalties, but it is a vast improvement from the last couple of weeks where we were in double digits each and every week. Like Buffalo today, they had 11 penalties for 55 yards. Both teams had a turnover apiece, and the time of possession was won by Buffalo with 31 minutes and 22 seconds and 21 seconds, and the Saints with 28 minutes and 39 seconds of ball control. Swinging it around the rest of the NFC South today, the South did not do too good today. One team did win today, and that was the Falcons. After being shut out last week by the Carolina Panthers, they bounced back and beat the Washington Redskins today. Oh, not Redskins, excuse me. I apologize. The Commanders today, beating him by the score of 34-27. Tampa Bay wasn't so lucky today, losing to the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles by the score of 31-25. And Carolina, coming off of that walloping they gave to Atlanta, they dropped their 3rd game of the season, losing to the New England Patriots. And not only losing to the Patriots, but getting mollywopped by the Patriots, 42-13. That just goes to show you how crazy the NFL is. It makes no sense. And week to week, it is night and day. You don't know what team you're going to get each and every outing, except for the Saints. You know exactly what you're going to get when it comes to the Who Dat Nation. Just to put it in perspective, in our division right now, 4 games in, Tampa Bay is still in the lead, sitting at 3-1. Right behind them is the Atlanta Falcons. They are 2-2. Carolina is 1-3, and the Saints as we all know, is 0-4. So everybody is a game behind the other in this division, and this is a horrible division, man. It is borderline embarrassing. Not as bad as the AFC East, where nobody has won other than Buffalo. Well, no, New England. New England has won. I think New England is 2-2, if I'm not mistaken. But nobody else has won a game. The Jets and Miami, they haven't won a game. But just be patient because they're on our schedule in the upcoming weeks, so they'll get a win in eventually. Man, we are an embarrassment, bro. It's tough to watch this team. It's tough because they are self-destructing. I was telling my cousin after the game, and I was just trying to think, what can we fix on this team? Where do we start? We got to start somewhere. Where do we start? And honestly, I don't know where to start. Because if you look at all 4 games, with the exception of maybe the Seattle game, but even then you can make an argument. But you look at just the 3 games, against Arizona, the 49ers, and today against Buffalo, Saints were in the game. Saints had opportunities to win those games. They were there. Arizona, I think, came down to the end. You had a chance to win at the end. Same thing with the 49ers. You had a chance in the fourth quarter. Here, they actually technically took the lead in the fourth quarter, but that touchdown was reversed, and we had to settle for a field goal. But the Saints have never led this season. You realize that? We haven't had a lead, not even 3-0 in a game yet this season. I don't know where to start. I really don't. I know that for a fact, and unless he proves me different, and until he proves me different, Kellen Moore ain't it. And the sooner we realize that, the better. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off and just come to grips with the fact that this is a bad coach. He is not a good head coach, at least not of this team. Am I willing to put him up there with Dennis Allen? I don't know. I don't know if we've gotten to Dennis Allen level yet. The problem with Dennis Allen, it wasn't the fact that we were losing. It was the fact that he refused to acknowledge the fact that we absolutely sucked at areas of this team and act like we didn't know what we were talking about, even though I'm looking at this team imploding within themselves. And he walk around, oh, we just got to clean up. Like, oh, it's nothing to see here. No, man, this is a problem. I'm not ready to go there yet with Kellen Moore because we haven't had enough time to go there. But he's trending. He's trending to an area where he's worse than Dennis Allen. And my God, I never thought that those words would be uttered again out of his mouth. But it's coming because he doesn't change what he's doing. Maybe he needs to change his practice schedule. That hour practice, and this didn't sit right with me from the word go. In training camp, oh, they only practice for 1 hour. For what? Why are you only doing that? Oh, I mean, why are you only doing 1 hour? Why are you doing that? What's the reasoning for this? Well, they claim sports science to preserve these players' bodies. They can stay healthy and all. Players still getting hurt. They're still getting hurt. So why are we still doing this? Because you running this high-powered, high-tempo offense that you claim you have, and these players don't know their assignments. They can't even line up correctly. Why? Because you don't have enough time to practice. There's no time to get their ducks in a row for these guys to know how to line up, how quickly to line up, how to, you know what I'm saying? And so you need to change up how you run your practices. Now, I don't know if he's still doing it. Maybe he has changed up, but I know in training camp he did. That's how he ran it. And that's why the team was looking like it was looking. And it's getting worse every week. You still can't line up right. You still can't get plays incorrectly. You know, it's just little stuff like that. The basic fundamentals. Players that can't catch. Chris Olave, my God. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. It's like they flip a coin before the game in the receivers room. Okay, who's gonna drop 2 balls today? Ooh, Juwan Johnson. He hurried up, hopped out there the first couple of weeks. Oh, I can do it, and he sure did. Chris Olave came out this week and was like, oh no. Oh no, Juwan's getting all of the glory. And so I gotta go out there and drop a few myself, and that's what he did today. And then he want to put icing on the cake. I'm gonna raise you one. I'm gonna throw a pick, and that's what and he did that too. I mean, this team is so mind-boggling, bro. It's so frustrating to watch this team. I don't know what these other teams are doing to beat the Saints. I can't pinpoint what Arizona did to beat us. I can't pinpoint what the 49ers did to beat us. And to be honest with you, I don't know what Seattle did to beat us. Let's be honest. We gave them 17 points. We did that. The kickoff return, the punt return that set up a touchdown. You missed the field goal. That's 17 points right there. That's a 17-point swing. And what team you think can bounce back from that? I don't care if you the 85 Bears. You not bouncing back from that on the road. And so I can't tell you what the Seattle Seahawks did. What did they do? Sam Darnold didn't throw for 350 yards and 5 touchdowns. Yeah, he looked good. All of them look good. Everybody looked good against the Saints, but they don't have to do much. This is the first game where I can say Josh Allen really did something. He really went out there, and he had to, because the Saints were actually playing a good game. And then turned around and stopped. They just flat out stopped. They were running the ball down Buffalo's throat. They had 0 answers to stop the run until Kellen Moore came in and said, okay, I'm going to stop it. Don't worry. Since y'all can't stop it, I'm going to stop it. Throw. And there you have it. 3 and outs, can't convert, put Buffalo back on the field. More importantly, put Josh Allen back on the field. And what does he do? He go out there and put up 17 points in the second half. And voila, there you have it. Saints lose. So, yeah, man, this is Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is the problem here. Let's go. Let's do our rankings, or our grades, I should say, for today's matchup versus the Buffalo Bills. In case this is your first time listening to the show, and if it is, thank you for joining me. I hope you continue to check in here on the Who That Say podcast. But how I do the grading system, I grade every unit of the New Orleans Saints performance against the Buffalo Bills. That's offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. We round those grades up together and come out with an overall grade for the team. Let's start with the offense. The offense, I believe, gets a B+ today. The offense moved the ball fairly well, and when you rush for almost 200 yards on a team, I mean, they were moving the ball at will. It was just that red zone, man. That red zone bug that has been plaguing the Saints long before Kellen Moore got here. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to give him that. He's not the reason we struggle in the red zone. We always struggled in the red zone. I don't know. And that's even when Drew Brees was here. You know, in the latter half, we struggled in the red zone. I don't get it. I just don't understand. But you take that away. If Saints was able to, and I know we're playing the woulda, coulda, shoulda game here, but if the Saints were more successful in the red zone today, the Saints would have won this game going away. It wouldn't even been close. But there you have it. But Spencer Rattler, he put this team on his back, putting his body on the line, keeping drives alive, making throws. A couple, yeah, he missed a couple of throws, but my God, some of them throws that he did connect with were spot on, perfect, picture perfect, beautifully placed. I don't know what else you want out of the man. The offense gets a B plus. Defense defense gets a C. The defense held them down for the majority of the game, but I don't know, man. It's like they forgot about James Cook. They forgot to just do exist. you know, they were going to run the ball. Buffalo is going to run the ball. It's on tape. I knew that going into the game, but the Saints defense didn't know that. Saints pass defense was great. I felt they actually did real good. A big improvement from last week, but the I don't know. This run defense is killing us all season. To be 100% honest with you, special teams gets a B today. I think this was probably the greatest turnaround of a unit ever from week to week. In comparisons to last week is an A, but they could have did just a tad bit better as far as I don't know, man. It's just that punt that running into the kicker play that really just iced the game. Saints had slim chance, even if they didn't run into the kicker, but that just put the nail in the coffin, and got to book them for that. Coaching gets a D minus today. Coaching is hurting this team. Just poor decisions by this coaching staff, namely Kellen Moore. I don't want to hear he's a rookie head coach, because I've heard that stated as well on TV, on social media. Well, you got to understand, he's a rookie head coach. He's been in this league long enough. He's played in this league. Kellen Moore is not an idiot. At least I don't think. It's no reason that he doesn't know the basic stuff. There's no reason you should go into halftime with all 3 timeouts in your pocket like he did in week 1. There's no reason you running a Philly special when you are a struggling team, just trying to get any bit of positivity on the road against probably the best team in football right now, and you got them on their heels, and you running silly stuff like this. There's no reason why you will stop what was obviously working for this team. Running the ball. It's not rocket science. Making yourself smart. This is stuff we went through with Sean Payton back in the day. He isn't beyond reproach. I mean, come on now. Sean Payton did some stuff that made you want to strangle him. We all remember those trying end around on 3rd and 1. The trying stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid stuff Sean Payton used to do. Not only doing that, but he'll go next week just to make, because you know how petty Sean is. He'll do it again next week just to show you that it will work. Yeah, it worked this week, but it didn't last week. That's what we were talking. We don't care if it works this week. But anyways, you're too smart for your own good. And I think that Kellen Moore, he's a smart guy. I'll never say he's dumb. To get to this level and get to this point in your career, you got to have some level of intelligence. So I'm not going to beat on him like that, like he's a complete moron. But, man, what are you thinking here, man? And you're not putting these guys in a good position to win. And so, yeah, he gets a D minus. Overall, once you round it all up, give an average of a C minus today. I don't know, man. I don't see much hope going forward for the New Orleans Saints. They I don't know. They just can't get out of their own way. Now, next week, the Saints will host. They come back home, and they will have to host the New York Giants. And Jackson Dart won today in his first start, which pretty much is fueling a lot of this vitriol from Saints fans. Oh, their starter won their first game. See, that's what we need. We need that spark. Let's put in Tyler Shuck. That's not going to help this team. I'm sorry. It's not going to help this team. It didn't matter if it was Tyler Shuck. It don't matter who the quarterback. That's what you're missing. It's not the quarterback. That's not the issue. You can put in Tyler Shuck. Fine. That's fine. There's other issues here. You still don't have an offensive line. You still have wide receivers who can't catch a cold. You still have a defense that's going to give up big plays and be undisciplined. So what difference it make? What difference does that make? But yes, we host the Giants. Giants just won their first game, like I said. If you would have asked me 2 weeks ago who was going to win this game, oh man, Saints going to blow right through the Giants. Now you asking me right here today, real time, I don't see the Saints winning that game. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't see it. But hey, maybe this is the one. I'm done. I'm done trying to figure out this team. I'm done trying to figure out if this is a real. Are they a run team? Are they a pass team? Are they what you call that? A RPO team? Are they what type of team is this? Are they a defensive led team? I mean, what is the Saints' identity? Who are they? I mean, anyways, but that's it. I'm done. I'm done talking about it. I need to get this get this out of my head. Saints, once again, Saints are 0-4. No victories on the season so far. No first win for Kellen Moore. No first win for Spencer Rattler. No Gatorade bath just yet. Maybe next week. Maybe, but I don't see it. But in any event, I would like to know, what do you think? Do you think Tyler Shuck will be the spark that the Saints need? Or do you think it don't matter if you dig up Drew Brees and the man ain't even dead yet and put him back there? When you think, I don't think that'll help. But what do you think? What is the problem with the New Orleans Saints? What is their greatest need that needs addressing? Please tell me. I've been searching high and low. I didn't look through all 53 players. I didn't look on the coaching staff. I don't know where to begin. Well, I do know is Mickey Loomis, but in reality, because Mickey ain't going nowhere. So in reality, where do we start? Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're listening on YouTube, the KB Radio Network channel. Also, like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the Who That Say podcast here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this recap of the Week 4 matchup between the Saints and the Bills, as the Saints lose yet again, 31-19. Better luck next week. We'll see. Maybe I'll feel better next week, feel a little more confident next week. I doubt it. But even with all that doubt, even with all this doom and gloom, I guess, I still gonna be screaming every single day, who that?